Hey y'all, it's your girl Symone and welcome back to my channel. If y'all can see by the title, today is another story time. Before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give a girl a thumbs up, comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials, Instagram, Vivalayoshii, TikTok, Twitter, LifeWithSymone. Y'all, this is a Subbie Sunday and I'm recording super early. It is Wednesday. I had to make sure I had it on time, y'all, because these past few weekends been like a lot. Like I went to a wedding. I've been like, it's just been a lot going on, so I really didn't have the time to record. And this weekend I might do some stuff, so I'm like, let me record on this good Wednesday. So let's get into this story. Okay, so you already know it's Subbie Sunday. Let's get into them. Your girl wears glasses now when I'm looking at electronics, but I don't want to put them glasses on right now for this video because I just feel like so much light and stuff, and I'm still kind of adjusting to them, so bear with me. I'm just kidding. But let's get into it. Y'all see I got my laptop out. So the first story, this one is titled How I Got Herps. Y'all know I don't want to say it too much because I don't know what YouTube gonna do, but yeah, and my birthday coming up, so I don't need my videos getting demonetized and snatched up. I'll give y'all more details later. So anyway, it says I don't know if she want me to give her story, but I know that she did. Oh, she probably do want to give her name because she have a YouTube channel and I seen she had made a video about it too. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say her name. So, and okay, yeah, okay, she got it on her YouTube. Okay, so it says, hey girl, my name is Rena and I've been supporting you for a while now. Love you. Met you at your brunch. It was hella fun. Anyway, I wanted to share my story on how I got. She said you can use my name because the H word advocate now, so I ain't tripping. So I'm gonna get right to it. Okay, and then y'all, like I said, she did I seen she had posted like a little while back that she had made a YouTube video on it on her page, so the full story be on that. But it says, I met my ex in welding school at UEI. If you know, you know, ghetto as hell. I was trying to find a new job outside of stripping, and they literally hired one of the first pimps I've ever met as a mechanic teacher. Laughing my ass off. Anyways, since the first day we met, there were a lot of red flags, but I ignored them because I thought being with him was going to change my living/family situation. From the jump, he told me he lived with his ex, but they were broken up. He slept on the couch. Since we went to school together, things moved fast. It's like I'll say one thing, but he was so manipulative. And at that time, I was weak. He will always ended up getting his way. He was so pushy that when he eventually stayed the night, the very next day, he literally moved in with all his trash bags. I would voice my opinion on how I thought it was way too soon, but he ignored it and insisted on everything he wanted. Usually, I'll be more hot-headed and argue, not even gonna lie. But he was only out of prison for a year after he went in for popping someone, and he was a gangbanger, obsessed with his glizzy, so I never really pushed him out for obvious reasons. Once we were living together, it didn't take long for me to have my first outbreak. No, I didn't use protection because I was on birth control and he was my man. I know, dumb as fuck. I was so much in pain, and once I put two and two together with my symptoms, of course he denied it. And when I made him come to the Planned Parenthood, he went in the room by himself and told me they were only allowed to test him for HIV. Lies. I think the next day, I can't remember exactly, but for sure that same week was my birthday. I was still having an active outbreak that day. I forgot my birthday and I was avoiding everybody I love because of my pain, shame, and guilt. So as you can imagine, my B-day sucked. So anyway, that same day, he leaves me by myself because I wasn't giving him no attention he wanted. He didn't tell me, but I knew he was at his ex house. So of course I put up. Long story short, it resulted in him busting my lip and chipping my tooth. There's a lot more details to this story, but I'm trying to condense it all in one short story for the sake of the time. If y'all want to watch the full story on how I got, then go to my YouTube page, Rena the Great. My IG is Rena the Great as well. Thank you. So her YouTube is Rena, RINA, and then Great with 2 T's at the end. So y'all make sure y'all go check out her story. Thank you for sharing, sis. That was really like, I know the full story is really like more like, y'all gotta go watch the full story because it's like, this was just like a little short, but yeah, it was so fun meeting you at the brunch though. We did have a good time. You a vibe, and hopefully you can make it to the skate park, girl. But I'm so happy that you like, now you're spreading awareness to other people because it's a lot of people who really just, like how he was, try to say like, oh, I don't have it. And then it's like, but bro, if I and you, like, you know, then you do too. It's just so crazy how people would know they have something and still put somebody else's health at risk. That's just so crazy. But I love that you are spreading awareness to other people. So thank you so much for that because we do need more of that in this world. All right, so let's get into this next story. So this one is titled, A Girl Popped Up While We Were Laid Up. So it says, hey Symone, I watch you every day. I will watch your story times over and over. LOL. Thank you. You're the reason. It says, I love you It says, I love you and I would love to meet you one day. Keep shining. Congratulations on 100K. Anyways, let me tell you, girl. So anyway, it says, so I met this guy at a restaurant. I just had started working there. We can call him Fries, LOL. I knew Fries from my childhood and he kind of dated one of my friends. I was about to turn 20 that year. I saw he was flirting with another woman at work and was thinking, who does this guy think he is? I was in love with food, but this was my first restaurant job in college. I was going for culinary arts. I would come from school and right to work. So most days I was restless. Fries worked the morning shift and I worked nights. I would catch him leaving out as I clocked in until one shift he was working at night. I was kind of excited, so Fries and I played all that shift, cracking jokes and just being goofy and talking about food. So I told him I was in school for culinary arts. Time passed and I just started seeing him more. One morning at school, I was walking to class and saw Fries in the hall. I was so shocked he didn't go there, LOL. I spoke to him and we exchanged numbers. We were texting for a while and seeing each other in the halls all the time. He finally asked if we could hang out, which I was so excited about. Backstory, I had recently been single from a relationship of 5 years. I drove over to his house that weekend and we were smoking, LOL. We were vibing a lot and we did this for a while. And one night he asked if I could stay the night. I was like, yes, but I couldn't let him know how excited I was. Women have to keep it player too, laughing my ass off. We watched a movie in his living room all night. We watched movies in his living room all night, but we started kissing. Once we were feeling it, it was over for Netflix and chilling. So we started doing the do and took it to his room. We finished our deed and slept. This is when things got crazy. He was single and so was I, or so I thought. I was woken up by his phone ringing and ringing, banging on his room window. Someone was in the backyard, so someone was determined. It was 4 a.m., mind you. So he gets dressed and leaves out the room. He was gone for a few minutes and came back making me get dressed. I'm like, what? It's 4 in the morning. I'm not stupid though. So I get dressed. I heard him and someone whisper arguing in the living room. I walk out and there's a girl. Yes, a girl. She was pissed and I was sleepy, LOL. I was walking out of the house and the girl said to me, do I know you? I said, if you did, you'll not fuck with me. I told him goodnight and I left. I'm petty like that. It's more to the story, but that's too much. This story is already long, LOL. Thanks for listening and keep grinding on 100K. Thank you, sis. Sis, we want to know the rest of the story. Like, give us the deets. If it's more to it, give us. That was just so funny, though. You was sleepy and over it. Like, girl, I don't care what you talking about. I'm out of here. But that was super funny. And I know you said you was in school, but let us know, how did school go? Did you finish? And if so, congratulations, girl. I want to see the food. Do you got an Instagram where you post your food? I love looking at people's food and recipes. Ooh. Do you post your recipes on TikTok? Okay. But if you do, let us know for real. But thank you so much for sharing, sis. You guys, so I found another story. I'm taking it back. I took this one back. I just really go up and forward. Like, sometimes I'll go back to ones from last year, then ones I just sent yesterday, stuff like that. If y'all hear something really loud, that's my computer being loud and dramatic, because it is probably really hot because I'm downloading the story time I just recorded. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go watch that. And I'm also using the internet, so it's just being loud and dramatic. But yeah, let's get into this story. So this one is titled My First Fight Ever at 28 years old in a Foreign Country. Hey Symone, I just want to say I love your story times and I'm glad I found your channel a year ago. Blessings, bitch. Thank you, girl. So it says, this happened 3 days ago and my back still hurts. So I'm from Florida, but I live in Ecuador now with my husband and daughter. I've never been a fighter, even though I've seen every season of Bad Girls Club. I'm more of a I'm gonna wait for you first type of girl. I normally avoid the fuck out of confrontation because I have anxiety, which is one of the things I don't like about myself. My husband, though, he's on 100, especially in traffic. We were driving down Main Street and the bus was blocking traffic because the bus driver was fighting with another car. My husband would normally honk the fuck out of his horn, but on this particular day, he got out the car before I could really grab him. He starts slamming on the bus driver's window, cussing him the fuck out for blocking traffic. Which, yes, the bus driver was petty, but the light was red anyway. And why the fuck you so mad if we weren't even in a rush? It was also damn unnecessary. So as he's coming back to the car, this random lady who was at the bus stop starts yelling at my husband. I'm like, oh Lord, more BS. But I stay in the car because I don't agree with what he just did anyway. I let them argue for a bit. He gets back in the car and this lady comes up to his window and slams the fuck out of it. So of course he gets out of the car and starts cussing her the fuck out. At this point I get out just to pull him back because she was escalating and I didn't want anything to happen. Especially since she's a woman and he's a man. And the police are always in that area patrolling. As I'm pulling him back, she slaps the mess out of him in the face. Girl, I don't know how, but I immediately punched her dead in her face and she grows to grab my hair. I just got her by her scalp with one of my hands. I just got her by her scalp with one hand and punched her in the head with my other. And she just straight up pulling my hair. Mind you, my hair is down to my butt, so there's so much of it. I didn't mind, and plus I didn't feel anything at the time. She was on the ground. I'm just on top of her, hitting her mostly because she wouldn't let go of my hair. If she would have let go, it probably would have been over because I wasn't that mad for real. But this is a random ass lady. I got my licks and it's not that deep. But I know she was mad I was giving her some knots. I don't know what happened, or I don't know what happened around us, but all I know is more and more people started surrounding us, and some bitches tried to jump me. They weren't even her friends. They were all strangers, but just some weird ass bitches. My husband was trying to separate us and was blocking people from jumping, while other dudes was trying to beat on him. Like, what the fuck? People just can't sit and watch. They were helping her because she was losing, like a bunch of weirdos in my eyes. She saw me. I'm a small girl. Doesn't look street at all. By the way, they were street people. And I was in high heel, knee-high boots with a skirt and a damn corset, and my hair was loose. She must have thought she could just hit my man because he can't hit her back, at least not in public. And I don't look like I would do anything in that situation, which I didn't even realize what I was doing until it was over. I was so proud of myself because I really beat her ass, and all she did was pull my hair and left some scratches. I was proud because my whole life I lived in the ghetto, so I was always around the environment in my neighborhood and school, but I was so reserved and never really stuck up for myself. It was just how my mom raised me, and I hated it, honestly. So I felt this broke some internal barrier for me. Not condoning violence at all, but me personally, it was just more than that for me. Sis, I hear you, because sometimes you gotta just let it out. It's like sometimes you got that build up anger where it's like you gotta let it out. You just don't know. It's a story time. I got y'all one time, oh my god, and I fought for my friend. I should never even fought that girl. Like, it literally was like my friend's fight, and I fought, and it was so random, y'all. One day I'll tell the story. But anyway, no, thank you for sharing, sis. Not me grabbing random ass stuff, but thank you for sharing, sis. That's so crazy. It really get down like that. Like, your husband road rage is out of this world. See, that's why I stopped, because my road rage, I feel like, well, to me, road rage isn't worth it because people be losing their life. So I used to be that person that would like honk my horn or like flick somebody off or cuss them out. But then when I realized like, oh, people out here really yeah, doing other stuff, I'd be like, oh, let me just calm down, cuss to myself and let it go. I'll be in the car woo-sign like, but I feel you, sis. Sometimes you really do just gotta let that built up anger out. But thank you so much for sharing. All right, y'all, so I think I'm gonna do 2 more. I know these been short stories, but your girl wants to sleep. I'm tired. Okay, but look, this one is titled I F My Roommate Sneaky Link, and it got linked to the whole school. Girl, why the f did you do that? All right, let's see. So it says, hey girl, I love your story times, but let's get into this crazy ass story. So backstory, me and my roommate's relationship. Her fake name is Kayla. I went to high school with Kayla, and we had the same friend group since junior year, but I was never close to her. To be honest, I didn't like her. She just wasn't my cup of tea. Fast forward senior year, and she came up to me outside of my math class and told me she heard we applied to the same college. So I'm like, okay. And I didn't want to be rude, so I entertained the conversation. Then she asked if I wanted to be her roommate, and like a dumbass, I agreed. To keep it a stack, I didn't really think I was going to go to that school because I had plans to stay back home with my man and go to the community college. But my dreams were squashed by my father because he wasn't having all that. Girl, I'm happy your father told you no because I wish I would have had a daddy. I'm just kidding. So nonetheless, I ended up going to that college. Now here to go to T. Now we moved into our dorm, and it was real vibey. As soon as our parents left, we turned the fuck up. We had some boys pull up on us, and we're gonna name them Greg and Fonzo. So it was a little 2-man, one for me, one for Kayla. Fonzo had told one of my friends he was feeling me and he wanted to talk to me. Here go a description of Fonzo. He was a little on the short side for me because I'm 5'8". He was a gangbanger. He walked around with his flag, constantly repped his set. He dead ass looked like a baby kid. He looked a little rough, but I would say he was cute. Now automatically when I heard he wanted to talk to me, I dubbed it because how he looked. But he was cool as hell and funny. I was scared of how I would look talking to somebody like that, but now I know I really should have just did me because I actually was into him. So me, Kayla, and our other friend get to talking, and Kayla asked me if I like Fonzo because she wanted to talk to him, and I said no. I will admit I was wrong. I should have been upfront about it. I should have been upfront about how I felt, but I didn't want to be judged. And I felt like it was too late to say something because now Kayla already told me she wanted to talk to him. Oh, and here's a description of Kayla. She had a big old booty like Bernice Burgos. She was outgoing and real cool. I'm pretty too, and I have a great personality, but I was insecure because all the attention was on Kayla. So I felt like, damn, bitch, can I have some? Oh, but at least she being honest. To be honest, I didn't think she was gonna go for him because of how he looked and because he already said he wanted me. Nonetheless, she did, and that's when the BS started. So now they deep in, and Fonzo's starting to come to my room more often and spend the night. When we was all together, he would try to flirt with me, but I would shut it down because that's OD. But one night while Kayla was asleep, he crawled into my bed and we had sex while Kayla was asleep. Symone, I ain't gonna lie, Fonzo had a schlong. And the D was amazing. So I don't know how Kayla didn't wake up. Also that night I was fucked up about my man from back home because he had broke it off with me. So the next day I told Fonzo what he did was wrong and we should stop. And of course he was against it, but that was that. Symone, do you think I stopped screwing Fonzo? No. We did it again, but that time Kayla found out because there was a condom underneath my bed the next morning that Fonzo dumbass left there. So she was pissed, and honestly, I felt bad. I really thought the friendship was over, but we actually made up and the relationship didn't change much. She was still skeptical of us, and he would come over, but I was so turned off by him because he was a complete disaster. He was disrespectful, and he had plenty of physical fights and arguments. I was glad I dodged a bullet, but also felt bad for my friend. So here's how everything got leaked. But mind you, people around the school didn't like us, and we thought it was because we had got into it with a few girls and fought some of them. So we thought it was because of that. We were so oblivious to the fact that other people even knew about what happened until we fell out with our other roommate who ended up coming clean because we had a whole group of friends and they all turned out to be fake. So we confronted them, and first they spilled the beans and how she would tell them all of our business. And that's how they found out we both slept with Fonzo. So we was pissed. And I really wanted to beat the girls, but she was copying and pleading, so we had no other choice but to hear her out. Surprisingly, she owned up to it and apologized, all the while still throwing dirt on her other friends' names. So me and Kayla was over that hoe, but we eventually made up, and then she ended up dropping out. So remember how I said Fonzo was a prick? Yeah, he kept doing jerk shit, making slick comments to me, and they also kept having sex in the room while I was there. So me and Kayla had a big argument, and I ended up moving into the room next door that our other roommate left. Everything was all good for a while, and then COVID hit and we had to move out. Eventually, over time, we grew apart, and one day, out the blue, she cussed me off for no apparent reason. So I asked our mutual friend about it, and she told me it was because of the situation. Mind you, it had been 3 years, and we would still talk and hang out from time to time. I was hurt, but honestly, there wasn't anything I could do about it. One lesson I took from all of this was to speak my mind and to never let insecurities or jealousy come over me like that, because in the end, it ruined a great friendship. Anyway, thanks for sharing my story and much love. Sis, I want more college stories, but that is crazy. Y'all in the same room with Kayla sleep? Y'all is bold. But it's really Kayla's forgiving you. It's like, Kayla crazy, man. Kayla crazy. But I guess she probably, well, no, she could have moved rooms. I don't know. That's crazy. Whew. And not once, but more than once. Y'all could have gone to grass in his room somewhere. Oh my God. But no, one thing I do like is that you was honest about that you was insecure and how you felt, because it's a lot of times as women, we do sometimes go through insecurities, but we won't admit it. But at least you was honest, like you was insecure and like about it, because some people would just keep that to the definite, and it's like, girl. But I hope you did find, like, you know, you're more secure within yourself now and everything is better. That is crazy, though. College days do be some wild stories, but I know you got more stories, sis, so send them my way. Thank you so much for sharing. You guys, so I think I'm gonna do 1 + 2. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna do 2 more. Okay, 2 more. So this one is titled, I Was Ambushed into a 3-Way. So it says, first off, I love you and your story times. I literally watched them while doing any and everything. I love you too. Getting into this story, so I'm gonna use fake names. I went through a really bad breakup with someone I dated for a year in 2021. In order to get over it, I decided to enjoy my summer and talk to different people. So I downloaded Tinder. I matched with this guy. He was 20, I'm 19, who I'll call L. He was the finest ninja I've ever seen, with big lips, 6'4", brown skin, tattoos. But anyway, after talking for 2 days, he gave me his number. I texted him one night. He replied once and stopped for the rest of the day, but randomly FaceTimed me at 2 a.m. Red flag number 1. To ask if I wanted to hang out tomorrow. I said yeah, even though I only knew him for 2 days. So the next day comes and he FaceTimed me around 3 p.m. telling me that we're going downtown and to let me know when I'm let him know when I'm dressed. After I get dressed, I text him and let him know that I was ready, to which he replied, okay. Then I waited for 2 hours until he FaceTimed me at Walmart, letting me know that I'll have to take the bus to him because he doesn't have a car. Red flag number 2. Nigga, why would you tell me if you knew you couldn't even come get me? All right. He told me where to meet him, but didn't give me any address, only the name of the streets he lived on. And and said he'll let me know when he's home. He called and said that I could be on my way. I got lost on my way there, so I had to FaceTime him to figure out where I was going. I finally got there and he looked even better in person. We went into his house and sat in his living room for a while, waited for his older brother to get dressed because he was coming with us. Brother finally came downstairs and L introduced us, and I'll call him D. D asked if I wanted to smoke, and we said yeah. We went upstairs to D's room. After we smoked, his brother left the room, and then L started to flirt with me and told me to lay on top of him. One thing led to another and we started doing the do. In the middle of it, I heard the bedroom door open, then close immediately, and we kept going. All of a sudden, I hear D's voice saying, "Damn, that motherfucker fat." I didn't realize D had came into the room because we were in doggy style, so my back was to the door. L kept going and I felt the third hand touch me. I was too afraid to say anything, so I stayed quiet and went along with it. L stopped and laid in the bed while D got behind me. Both used protection, by the way. L told me to put my head down. Then I saw the flash of a phone turn on. Scared as hell, I still said nothing. After we finished, we went downstairs to see fireworks. Oh my God. Wait, is that... Oh, hold on. How's it? Oh my God, that's so crazy. Him and his brother is weird. Like, why do y'all want to get in the same room for one together? That's weird as hell. I'm so happy that nothing bad happened. It's so crazy because a lot of people fail to realize that sometimes women be in situations where they feel like they have to do something. They be scared. And even like, okay, it wasn't like so much details, so I can't say that she like seemed afraid, but even some men, they'll see that you seem like afraid and often would still keep going, and that's so weird to me because that's just weird. Like I don't know, that's so weird because it's, I don't know, some men just be weird as hell. But thank you so much for sharing your story, sis. Y'all, even though I'm tired and I really want to eat ice cream, y'all kind of got me sunk in, so I think I'm gonna do two more. I know I keep saying that, but let's see. But okay, so this one is titled "Why My Ex-Cousin is a Dumb B." I went all the way down, y'all. This is back in February of last year. So this one said, I had a cousin that was around my age. We only met when we were 11 and 12 and immediately clicked and been best friends till we were about 17. So one night I was at her house, which was like 10 minutes away from mine. I'm going out with a guy I had just met. It was our first date. So I was so excited and I decided to leave from her house because I was already there. And my fat lazy ass didn't feel like walking home. I sent him my location. So she was jealous as fuck and asked this guy that I used to talk to that she wanted to go out. Jealous, thirsty bitch. Anyway, she could leave from there because her brothers would have told her mom. So she asked if she could leave from my house so she could go out, and my stupid ass fell for her and agreed. So we go to my house and I had to delete the location that I sent the guy and send him a new one. I know that shit was seen, but when I went in the chat, it was saying that he didn't read the message. Mind you, she was only talking to this guy for a week. So she didn't have any sexy panties, or like there wasn't just basic because they was like old. What? He was like a known ninja and he had a big ass mouth. I didn't want him to have anything on her, so I gave her a panty. Even though I told her he shouldn't be seeing her panties anyway. I told my mom that we was getting dropped off to her dad's house for clothes with our other cousins. So boom, he came for her in a green Jeep with 3 ninjas. So now I'm here waiting for my date, and this ninja messaged me like, why did you change the location? So I told him he was okay, but something came up. I knew he was lying because of who he was. I understood because that shit was weird. I was so effing mad at her. This bitch is out now and I'm in the house because of her. Anyways, like 2 hours after she messaged me and said my name. Now when people do this, it freaks me out. He told me that he had effed her and left her at his house. Said he didn't go deal with something. She said he got a call and the person said he lacking. We could get him tonight. So I'm freaking out, but all I'm saying, if this bitch dies, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do because I'm not telling my mom shit. What? So time goes by and she messaged me and said, I'm leaving now. So I go sit on the floor by the front door so I could open it for her. So I hear the car pull up. When I look out, it's a black car and it was tinted the fuck out. So I'm on my knees looking through the glass and I see a ninja get out, and then her ass, as soon as she got off, they drove off. Didn't even wait to see if the B had a key. Red flag. So I opened the door and this B started crying and hard. Simone like someone was unalive. So I put my hand over her mouth until she calmed down. And I told her, if I take my hand off your mouth and you start crying hard, I'm going to knock you the fuck out because my mom is going to hear that shit. Anyway, she told me that it was her guy, the same guys, 3 guys he came with and another girl, and they came back. And when they came to get her from his house to take her home, and they all was holding glizzies, Mad her hood the bag. Mad her hood the bag with the things in it they stole, and the bitch that was in the front with him had, you know, things to go in the glizzy in her lap. When he said that, I started to laugh so bad because I knew she was scared as fuck. And I don't know why she was crying so ugly too. Never mind, let me finish. Like a week goes by and he's ignoring her. Red flag, duh. And we did some investigation work. I don't know why the fuck I helped her, but we found out the girl from the front seat was his girl. So she messaged this man and cursed him out, and I told him that she's gonna tell the police about the robberies and everything she knows. And I'm like, why the fuck would you say that? Are you dumb? He told her that she knew where she lived and he was gonna come pop up her fucking house, so she better keep her mouth shut. Mind you, he's talking about my house where my mom and sister lives. Nothing never happened, thank God. A couple months later, he ended up going to jail for unaliving somebody, and he's been there ever since. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you this story, and I hope it's not boring. I love you. Keep being you. Thank you, sis, for sharing. Wait, so is this the same dude you used to talk to? And did you ever end up linking with old boy? That's crazy. Your cousin, you and your cousin, y'all don't need to be friends. I don't know if y'all still friends, but y'all don't need to, because y'all relationship weird. Like, how you gonna go deal with somebody that your cousin was dealing with because you bored because your cousin finna deal with somebody new? Weird. Oh, my computer's finna die, so this gotta be the last one. I'm sorry, cause I don't feel like going to go get my charger. Well, that was it for this Subbie Sunday. Thank you to everybody who shared. If you do have a story you want to send to me, send it to Symonestorytimes@yahoo.com. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below because I love when y'all comment and mingle. And yeah, thank you guys so much for sharing. I'll see y'all in my next video.